you're fine. Don't get nervous. You're fine. You're
I'm
perfect.
good.
You're perfect.
I was on the treadmill this morning. I'm ready.
So welcome back, everyone. I'm excited about bringing on my next guest, who is Susan Tanko. She's the president and designated broker of WCI Commercial. Welcome back to the show. You've been on several times. You actually were a listener a while back. You've been on several times. And we've been talking a little bit before you come on. And I want you to tell everybody a little bit about what you do and what makes you so different than other people out there, besides experience for sure.
Oh no, there goes my spiel, Carol. Actually, I'm looking forward to being on this radio station quarterly for the next year.
I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much for that.
And being a sponsor.
Yeah, that's happening too.
Really,
folks.
super excited. And I appreciate you bringing me back on. I feel like your Networking Arizona show is the biggest one in Arizona for getting your name out there.
Thank
So
you.
that's why I'm back, and I love the camaraderie that we have.
Thank you.
So I am president of WCI Commercial. I purchased the business from my father about 5 years ago, and with my partner Dennis Hayes. And recently this year we brought on Vinny Sopra, an incredible agent, one like we've never seen before, as a third partner. So we're really super excited.
Growing.
Yes, more than triple the business. We do a lot larger deals now, up to 30 million, and no problems. There's challenges on everything, but we have learned so much, and we have such a solid team of lenders, agents, all the people at escrow that we need, all the documentation that we need to write the contracts. We've already written them. And I think when you ask me how are we different, whenever you meet with a WCI agent, you will see and you will hear that we love being part of the team that you already have. So let's say you own this business, Carol, and you want to sell 1100 AM radio, and you're not quite sure how to go about it, but you want your people to stay in place. You want the deal to be totally confidential, nobody to know until we hit that closing, preferably after. And you're not quite sure what it's worth, what the value is. So we do all of those things, but I think where we're really, really different is that we get to know your CPA, we get to know your attorney, we get to know your team. If you want to introduce us to one of your managers and make sure that that person has a job going forward and you're comfortable with that, that is what we do. We're different. We want to know all about you, how you started, how you got to this point, and what are the quirks, what are the things, like talking to your doctor privately. We have fiduciary duty to our sellers. We only represent sellers. We do not represent buyers. And we want to know what is it that we need to know to be able to tell a buyer.
Well, here's the thing. I asked you before you came on, we were talking a little bit about what it would be to maybe even have your own show and what you would be talking about, right? And I'm going to skip where I had to be. I'm going to kind of move that, because I had asked you, what does it take to sell a business? What do you do to prepare? What is the right time? There's a million questions when you come up. The first question I just want to ask before anything is, first of all, when is the right time for somebody to call you or to start thinking about something like that? I mean, we have a lot of people that are listening. Maybe you own a business. Maybe you are a son or a daughter of somebody that's listening right now that owns one. This information is what's so great. What I love about the show is that it's this information for people out there. Maybe it's you, or maybe it's someone that you know. When is the right time to start thinking about something like that?
Only you can tell me that, because you're the seller. So you have to be ready, willing, and able.
So okay.
So there's many reasons that people come to us. They want to sell their business. There's an illness in the family. It's usually a personal reason. There's an illness in the family. They need to sell. They need to go back home and take care of mom or dad. They've owned it for 40 years. A lot of cases like that, and they're just ready to retire. They were going to just let it go, close it down, and their accountant, we love accountants and CPAs, stepped up and said, this is worth something. You need to go talk to somebody. We get a lot of referrals from CPAs and attorneys. So, you know, it's different for everyone. What you want to do, and I've been saying this for 23 years, how long I've been doing this personally. I was licensed in 2000. What you want to do is sell your company in the best 3 years of the company's financials. That's not necessarily sales, although that's helpful, but the number one thing that you need to have in place are good books and records. Because the buyer's CPA or accountant is going to come in and review financials for up to 5 years going forward and back, and everything needs to match up. They find a mistake that's significant, it causes worry upon the buyer might pull out during books and records. So the number one thing we like to do is meet with people a year before maybe you're going to sell, because think about this, it takes 8 months to sell a business once you take the listing.
Right. See, I had asked you that. How long? This is not overnight, and it's not overnight. So one of the things that you want to do is take the information and getting yourself prepared. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that takes. Her phone number is 602-795-2005. Their website is WCI Broker without the S. So it's WCIBroker.com. We're live on Facebook as well, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. You know, I share this show with everybody out there too. Tell people about this. You know, this is something that people, when you said a business, people that own businesses, that is worth something. How do you know how much something is worth like that?
Well, you know, did you know that there's an appraisal if you sell your business under $5 million and the buyer uses SBA financing?
No.
And do you know that WCI agents get within a very small margin of where that appraisal comes to? I've come as close as $5,000 upon the appraised price. So we're very, very good at this. We look back 3 years financials, and of course going forward, the future belongs to the new owner. But if you're on fire, we like to talk about it.
Well, that phone number again, it's 602-795-2005. It's all about having, excuse me, a free consultation, talking to you, sitting down and finding out, let's see where you're at right now, right? And what are we going to do we want to find out that we're at the best place where you can be to sell the business so that you're getting the most, right? You're
getting the most, and the buyer's getting the most. No one's going to buy a problem. You need to be profitable. Your financials need to be right in line. You need to be, we'll just throw out some numbers for a service business. They sell around 3 times cash flow based on the type of service. Accounting firms are different, and routes are different. But let's say you're pulling $350 a year down to the bottom line, plus owner's salary, amortization, interest, those types of things that benefit the owner, the current owner. That is what determines how much the business can buy itself back for. So that's what we're looking for. So you have a business that makes between $300 and $400 a year. You can sell that between $9 and $1.1 million.
That's pretty good, right?
Yes.
Now I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you for a second. You've been doing this for 23 years. That's a really long time. You know this. This is called experience. And do you work with all kinds of businesses? Does it matter what kind of business it is? Does it matter what size?
We absolutely do work with all kinds of businesses. The buyers that we have are looking for $1 million to $30 million in price. We have a lot of P&E buyers that call in. They're merger and acquisition type buyers. They're looking for something to snap onto what they already have. Those buyers don't need SBA financing. Those are the deals that really go smooth. You've got a lot of experienced attorneys, CPAs on both sides, and great books and records. We love those deals, and we do a lot of them.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of of people are keeping up with they have an attorney, they have their accountants, CPAs, right? And once you know that you already have all this in place, you're getting yourself ready. The one thing though, when it comes down to, let's say, medical, that's something that could come up on you, right? And now you have to really think fast. But if you're already doing it, and you're already taking care of these things, and you know that this could happen, or just you're prepared. This is something that we're going to talk about when we come back from the break, is how to prepare, right? We want to talk a little bit about that. Now, again, this is something that maybe you or someone that you know. Their phone number is 602-795-2005. You can check them out on the website, which is WCI Broker. It's without the S. So WCIBroker.com. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further. And, one thing that you want when you're working with somebody and you're talking about selling your business, you want somebody with experience. Hang tight. We're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to keep on going because we're live in the room right now on Facebook, okay? So it doesn't give us too much of a chance to talk, but it'll kind of... So for you, what is your favorite part about what you do?
Meeting with sellers, hearing their story, understanding how they met. I love meeting couples that are, or father and son, mother and daughter, that are running the business together. How did they get to that point? How did they make this so successful? I love the story behind it. I also love manufacturing businesses. I like to walk the floor and see what they create. And I just, being a business owner in Arizona is so incredible. We have so much opportunity here. We're growing like any other state still. Where are we getting the water? I don't know.
We do have a lot of businesses that are coming in.
We have so many businesses coming in, and people that are moving here. They already have a business in another state. They want something similar here. They have the experience. Really
We
key.
also have, go ahead and put these on for a minute, because I want you to hear that thing. So can you hear me a little bit? Can just take it off your ear just a tiny bit. For when somebody is thinking about that, okay, so you have all of these businesses that are coming in. There's a lot of people that have been in business here for years. Now they're going, you know what, I don't know, I got this property here, I own this business, I want to sell. Is this a good time?
Right. So as we were talking earlier, it's best to meet with a business broker, WCI hopefully, a year before you're going to sell. But a lot of businesses that we sell own real estate. And we are licensed by the Arizona Department of Real Estate to sell real estate, and we do commercial.
We're going to talk about that so they can hear it
We do.
also. That's huge, because a lot of people think that you only do, they don't know that you do both, right?
Right.
I think that's
You have
important.
to be licensed to be a business broker in Arizona. Some states require that, and we do. And many people are out there calling business owners, acting like business brokers, and they're not licensed. And to me, that is the scariest thing to me. It's
That's
frightening.
important. That is important.
People don't know.
And there's a lot of people out there that they are, let's say they call themselves that, but they're not.
Or they'll try to run the
professional.
deal and they don't know what they're doing, and now they've undercut the price. How is that servicing your client?
That's sad.
It's very sad.
Oh, this is the heartbreak, so we have a little bit more time.
Okay.
When you say that they're not, how would they know? How do they know? Because some problem is that people are going to call them, and they're going to think, oh, I
All
never
the
even
time.
thought about that, right?
I have a buyer. I'm calling you because I have a buyer. Well, we already have the buyers. We have 44,000 buyers already signed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of
That's
a moot
kind of a
point.
scary thing.
Our number one thing, and I'd like to say this when we get back live,
Okay.
is to find a business with good books and records that is actually ready to sell, where the owner's actually ready and willing to sell. Not just an excursion to see if they can get their $5 million for a $2 million business.
Okay.
That never works, and we won't take those listings.
Okay. Ready and willing is what it's all about for you. because you don't want to you're not going to waste anybody's time.
Time is money.
Yeah.
I say it every day.
Yeah. I understand that.
It is. Which is why I'm here.
So we're going to talk about that. I think I'm getting there. We're kind of going it around a different way, if that's okay.
That's okay.
I like it that way, if that's
Yeah, I'm totally comfortable with it.
This is important, too. I just wrote that down. But I also, we have the time. I want them to hear about you. They're going to get to know you. I want them to hear you. You know, you're a person. You have it. You do a tremendous service for people. But they got to hear you, right? And what makes you like that. That's why.
And I love what I do.
That's why I asked you that question. What's your favorite part about what
right.
you do?
Meeting the people.
Yeah, we're going to do that on air too. Okay, here we go.
Okay, sounds good.
And then you'll hear the one in just a minute. Yeah. So welcome back, everyone. We are talking with Susan Tanko. She's the president and designated broker of WCI Commercial. And at the break, we were talking, I love talking to Facebook land out there. I have to ask you, because this is going to show how real you are, which I love that about you, is that I asked you, what's your favorite thing about what you do?
The people.
The people and their stories.
The people and their stories, meeting, and the need that they have when they meet with me. They're ready to sell, sometimes to a family member, sometimes to a partner, which we can do and get financing. But just learning the story of the people, I really, really like that, and making that connection.
So when you and I were talking also, one of the things that you said is that we're talking about people who are willing and able. They are ready, right? And you said now that really the first time that they should be calling you is a year before.
A year before, so we can take a look at the books and records, the situation. Maybe you just lost a manager or some people. Maybe there's a change politically or in the world or in your industry that you're concerned about. We need to talk about all those things, how to address them, how it might affect the price going forward. The buyers of these businesses usually come from the same industries, believe it or not. And they're very familiar with yours, usually, 90% of the time. Buyers buy what they're familiar with.
Sure, of course, that makes total sense. Also, something that's very passionate to you is that, you know, a lot of people, we were talking that you are licensed and you could sell. Explain to them how you are commercial and real and resident. Not resident. Sorry, go ahead.
We are licensed by the Arizona Department of Real Estate to sell real estate and to handle leases. And in Arizona, it is one of the few states where you must be licensed to be a business broker.
Yeah. Licensed to be a business, and it have to be. And how many people, I said, a lot of people might call, they say, oh yes, we have somebody that we're looking that's going to be perfect, and they're not licensed. How does that person know that?
They don't know that, and it's our duty to inform the public. But another thing that's happening is there are a couple of companies out there that are charging people tens of thousands of dollars to do an evaluation and run ads, which we do for free.
Wow.
And they put it online, and these people pay. I have a client a couple of years ago, $40,000 up front, and they never heard from them again, and there was no way out of it. They tied their hands. They couldn't even sell it themselves. And to me, it just made me sick to my stomach that these people had to pay that kind of money when I was right here in Arizona. I know the business. I meet with the people, and I'm licensed.
The number to call is 602-795-2005. Her website is WCI Broker. That's without the S, so WCIBroker.com. Okay, so somebody is listening to this right now. They're ready and they're willing, okay? They go about this by calling. You have a consultation with them. What's the steps?
So I find out if they're able. So the steps would be to gather, and I have a full-time assistant. Her name is Sandy. She works for me over 20 years now. Hi, Sandy. She will contact you for myself. We have 20 agents overall between our two offices, and we will send you a list of what you'll need to gather, but it is a compilation of the last 3 years of financials, P&Ls, tax returns, balance sheets, those types of things, so that we can take a look at the financial overall picture of what is going on, what was going on. You know, there's a lot of things that when COVID came that changed the way people operate. People were buying inventory in bulk because they could get it for less. They shut the restaurant down other than deliveries. I mean, there were a lot of things. So every time there's something political, we have COVID, which is a one-time thing, I think. Anything, yes. Going forward and backward in every industry, there is something. Maybe the cost of your machinery went up, the cost of your fuel changed for your trucking company. Those are, it's cost of doing business. It's different in every business. So we are familiar with all different types of businesses and the challenges that those businesses face. So we know how to, you're not getting around them, but we know what to do and at what point is the best time to sell.
Because I was going to ask you, since somebody that's going to change all the time, do you help them when you come in there? Obviously, you see this because, again, it isn't you. Are you willing and able now? Obviously, that's great, right? But there might be, okay, we need to do this. Do you do that with them?
Absolutely. So we will tell them, number one, is it a good time to sell? Number two, how can we maximize the sale price? Number three, which really is number one, what are the challenges that we need to know about going in? You know, and maybe we wait 6 months because things are going crazy right now. You're going to have a great tax return coming up. That will knock out the 2019 tax return. I don't want to teach other brokers how to do this, but we are very, very good at the timing of these deals.
Right, and that's what it's all about.
It is.
Okay, so again, that number to call is 602-795-2005, WCI Broker, that's without the S.com. I want to talk about buyers, because really quickly, I want to know how you find them. And what did you say at the break? How many do you have?
Well, I hear that my old recording from a couple of years ago says we have 35,000. We have 44,000.
So 44,000.
We have 44,000 buyers now. We keep them in a closet.
They're all ready to go.
Yes.
Because there's people out there that are looking to buy businesses. Right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
And those turn, maybe a third of those are looking at any given time. Some of them are repeat buyers. We have repeat sellers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. People have a lot of money, right?
There is no lack of money. We do not need financing to get a deal done. If the seller's willing to carry or discount for cash, we have the buyers.
Yeah.
So I never wake up in the morning and worry about finding the buyer. What I worry about is finding a decent business with good books and records, with a ready, willing, and, like I said, able person to sell. And, you know, that's what I look for every day, folks. If you have an agent from WCI that's contacting you for any reason, it's because they already have the buyer. They already have a buyer in mind, or their people are calling us asking for specific type businesses, and that's what we focus on. We work on commission. Time is money. We're not calling you to get a listing. We don't need listings. We need sales. We're calling for sales.
Right.
If you're ready, we're ready to go.
That phone number again to call them is 602-795-2005. If you're ready, they're ready to go. They have everything in place, okay? And you had also said that you do free valuations?
We do free evaluations, and actually I'm glad you brought that up. We have a opinion of value, which is something written. It can be between 5 and 10 pages. It starts at $2,500, goes up to $5,000. We're offering that today. If you call in from that, from this particular time speaking with you, we will write that up for free.
Okay. Well, again, these are things that what they're doing, they mean business. This is what the whole point is that you really truly mean business. And I've seen that. I've actually seen that. You brought it in one time when you were on the show, and I remember it is not some little small thing. I think it was like 10 pages long or whatever. And folks, if you're serious, they're serious. That phone number again to call them at 602-795-2005. Have that consultation with them. Let's find out. This might be the perfect time for you to, and by the way, they have 44,000 buyers that in their closet ready to come out. They're dying to come out. They want to buy business. They're
waiting for a
They're
call.
waiting for people because you know what? That business is booming actually here. We're going to talk about that too when we come back, about the economy and how you feel about that too. So their phone number again at 602-795-2005. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to keep on going in here. I hope I'm okay with what I am saying.
No, it's great.
Okay, good. I also want to repeat that over here about your experience one more time. And am I getting to everything? Yes, it seems like we are. I want to talk about a hot business. What is a hot business? Is it a hot seller or a hot business?
You know, believe it or not, construction is really, really hot right now.
Construction?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's so hot out?
Well, air conditioning business would be my number one answer to you right now. If you have one of those, please call us.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
You know, it is quite
That's
hot.
kind of a gimme. I mean, you're, selling.
Well, it actually works hand in hand with what we just said.
Yeah.
Because I said, about the state of the economy and things like that. That's going to be funny, actually, to say. Does the heat is that a good time as a seller to buy a business?
And buyers kind of move in timelines. So they come here in the summer. They can uproot their family, their children out of school, and if they come here, say March, April, Mayish, some of them will come ahead of the spouse and kids.
I've seen people
Find a place to live.
Just did that.
Yes, find a place to live, and then they'll bring the rest of the family.
It's amazing. What is amazing is that we don't think about the business side of things, especially when we start a business. We're not thinking about selling it. We're thinking about just doing it. And all of a sudden you turn around and 40 years later, right?
Ask me about what business owners do for their employees and their businesses to keep them going.
Okay.
It's incredible, the stories that we've heard.
Okay.
Here we go.
Almost done. That's how fast it goes.
Yeah.
I'm only going to get to those two. I don't think they'll get. Depends on how you answer. So welcome back, everyone. We are talking with Susan Tanko. She is the president and designated broker of WCI Commercial. These things, to sell and buy a business takes a long time. So do these segments. So that's why we're doing an extra one right now, because there's so much to talk about. And one of the things that you wanted me to ask you is what the business owners do for their employees to keep that business going. You hear a lot of stories. What do you hear out there?
We hear incredible stories from business owners. They are my heroes. Whenever COVID hit is a perfect example. And business owners are aware of PPP loans and ERC credits and those types of things. Thank goodness they're there to help. But I have one gentleman who told me he sent back $3 million in PPP loan because he didn't need it. He had plenty of his own money to keep the company running, and he didn't let one person go. He just didn't take a salary. We hear that a lot where if things get tight, or you might see a year of the financials where the owner didn't take a salary, and I already know the answer. Things were tight that year. He wanted to keep all his employees, and people love their employees. That's the number one concern when we meet with business owners. They're concerned about the employees, about them not being upset, about them having a smooth transition, which is so important that we find the right buyer. So it's matchmaking 101. We might introduce 5 or 6 different buyers, and the sellers might say to us, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't care if that guy pays cash or more than I'm asking for. I'm not comfortable. And then we go find another buyer, and then another buyer, and then suddenly you'll introduce someone finally. Sometimes it takes 18 months, by the way. Find the right person, and it's like it's as if I'm not even at the table. Those are the best meetings, when I feel like I'm not even in the room, because these people have really bonded.
Synergy.
The synergy between them, they're talking the same language. It's just incredible feeling. You know when you've got the right buyer and the right deal. Everybody's willing, and the deal goes so much smoother when you find the right fit.
And that is what she's all about right now. They mean business. She's been doing this for 23 years. And when you are selling your business, you want somebody who does have experience, who has 44,000 buyers that are in their closet ready to come out and to be introduced to you. They can't wait to do that with you. And another thing that I wanted to ask you too, is the summertime a good time to sell a business? And what did you say?
You know, Carol, WCI overall has been around 55 years, just so you know.
Because you bought it from your father.
Yes.
So it's been around a long
Yes,
time.
he had it for 50, believe me. Yeah,
Wow.
Chuck Tanko. And my partners, Dennis Hayes and Vinny Sopra, are incredible agents and partners. They bring in a lot of really nice businesses. So back to your question, what was it again?
That's the summertime. It's hot right now.
So this is a great time to sell your business, because in the summertime, buyers move here. They bring their entire family. One spouse will come here 30 days ahead of time, find an apartment, a place for the kids, a hotel with a pool. But right now is a really good time because children are not in school. They can uproot everyone and move them here. So this is somewhat cyclical, this business. So you'll have 3 or 4 months push in the summer where buyers are really actively looking because they want their kids in school. They want to be settled.
Get everything in place.
Are we going to buy something in Chandler? Are we moving to, North Phoenix? Are we going to Prescott? Where are we going to be? Get it all figured out and have them in school by September, October. So right now is a really good time. September is typically our best month ever for the company. Our highest producing month. We have the most closings then. And then, believe it or not, December and January.
Wow, you wouldn't think that in a million years. But I love when you said, well, the summertime is great. If you have a heating and cooling,
air conditioning
right now business that you want to sell, this is a great time.
We already have the buyers. Yeah.
They have the buyers. And that is something that I want you to say I've been asking you a lot of questions, okay? What is it that you want them to know the most about WCI?
So WCI Commercial has a great reputation in that many of our agents were buyers or sellers prior to coming to our office. They were so impressed with our process and how smoothly things went, or the hiccups that we came across and how we handled those. Because there's a solution for every problem. They're not really problems, they're just opportunities. And no, we haven't seen it all. I learn something new every day. I love that about this business. So I just want to get across, I guess, and I'll be back on this show, but I just want to get across that if you're meeting with any business broker right now, or non-business broker, if you're thinking about selling your business, if you have someone in-house that you might want to sell to, SBA financing changed, and you can now sell 51% to another person that might already be a partner. I don't know if you're aware of that. That is
That's
brand
awesome.
new SBA.
That just opens it up completely.
Yes. So, it used to be that you had to sell 100%. SBA would not finance anything else. But we know those inside scoops because the bank comes to our meetings and teaches us. So that's something to consider if you've been thinking about it. Maybe you'd like to sell to, I've had sellers gift the money to who they want to buy it. So there are things that we can do, folks. We have some answers here.
Well, I'll tell you when you have 23 years of experience and the people that you have working with you, a team, that's what you have. And that's the first thing that you came on and you said is that
the team has over 300 years of experience.
That's amazing. So, when you think about that and you have the people out there, they're eager, they work on commission, they're here to help you because when they help you, they're helping. You get to help yourself, really, in a sense. But honestly, when they're here because they're going to work for you.
That's we price things at maximum value. We don't want quick sales. We don't like fire sales. If that's what you're up against, we'll help you. But we like to price things at maximum value and then wait for the right buyer to come because we know they will.
Yeah, and they have them. She has them. That phone number to call. Write this number down. 602-795-2005. WCIBroker.com. It's without the S. Make sure that you do it without the S. Again, tell them about you being licensed. This is important, folks. A lot of people get calls. That's what they do. They're going to call you. They're going to tell you that they got this person's ready to go. And you know what? If they're not licensed, these are things that when you hear this, you can tell people about this because if they're not, you can get yourself in more hot water and not even be able to get out of it.
We sell a lot of construction businesses. We sell a lot of medical type businesses. We probably sell more gas stations and C-stores and liquor stores than anyone else. I don't know if you're aware of that. But it's because we're licensed and we're local. And we know what we're doing. We're able to handle the commercial real estate, either selling the property or making you a landlord. And we don't charge to make you a landlord on the lease. We only charge on the business portion once we close escrow and on the real estate once we close escrow. So we are totally working for free, for nothing up front until we get to the closing. Whether it takes a year or 2 years, hopefully we'll do it within a year. Our agreements are 1 year, and that is why. It takes time to find the right fit.
But you work that because you want it to happen.
Yes, and we write the contracts. We write the contracts. We line up the financing for the buyer. We get everything in place for everybody. We have a 52-point checklist that we provide on every deal so that no one wondering, what the heck is going on today? What are we supposed to be doing? So we have that checklist and we provide it to some people are like, we don't need your checklist. We've done this. This is not our first rodeo.
Yeah, but you probably don't have 52 of them.
Right. But, that's the neat thing about this is that everybody's different. So you get to know what each person needs. You get to know them on a one-to-one basis. And you make sure that every person every day knows what's going on. Where are we in the deal? What do I need to be doing? What do you need to be doing? And just keep it going.
Well, here's the thing that I love about what she said, too. They're all about business. This is about getting it done, right? And they're looking for ready and willing and ready people. And the only way you're going to find that out is by her having that conversation with you and find out where are you at right now.
Call
And
Susan, Dennis, or Vinny.
that phone number to call is 602-795-2005. Put this number in your phone too. Because you know something, again, we never know. It could just come up to you that you know somebody, or God forbid somebody gets sick. This is something that happens a lot. You can come in there and save the day and help them, and you know what? Make them happy.
That's what we do.
That's what they do.
We'll get you to your goal.
That phone number again, write it down. It's 602-795-2005. I want to ask you, do you work statewide or at all of yours, or how about part of all of
We
yours?
are licensed to sell any business in Arizona.
So that number again, write that number down. It's 602-795-2005. They have 44,000 buyers in their closet. They're ready. They can't wait to come out and see what business that you have that's for sale. Ready and willing, that's what they're looking for. They mean business. That number again, it's 602-795-2005. Check them out on their website. It's WCI Broker without the S.com. We are live still on Facebook, but we're going to share the show to everybody out there as well, whether it's for you or someone that you know.